Hello students, welcome to another science lesson for today. And in today's lesson, we want to cover several objectives. One, we want to define cell and how many cells make up organism, which are living things. Two, animal and plant cell and the difference between them. And three, types of reproduction and types of pollination. Remember, you can subscribe for quick access to all the videos that will be posted. And with no further delay, let's go straight into today's lesson. So in today's lesson, the first thing we want to do is to define cells. So the definition of cells, the smallest, most basic unit of all living things that is still considered alive. So in order for something to be alive, it has to have cells. And examples of cells, bacteria, muscle cells, nerve cells. Fatty tissue is made of a fat cell, skin, bone marrow, pancreas, and cells. So remember, definition of cells, the smallest, most basic unit of all living things that is still considered alive. Then how many cells make up organisms or living things? Organisms or living things can be composed of only one cell or many cells. Unicellular or single-celled organisms or living things include bacteria, the most numerous organisms on Earth. Multicellular organisms are composed of many cells. You are made up of trillions of cells. You have specialized cells in your body that perform specific functions. Then we have animal cells. For animal cell contain cell membrane, vacuole, cytoplasm, cell nucleus, and a mitochondrion, not normally visible. So those are features of animal cells. Then we have the plant cells. So plant cells contain chloroplast, nucleus, ribosomes, large central vacuole, mitochondrion, and cell membrane. We want to continue with the similarities between plant cells and animal cells. When it comes to the similarities between plant cells and animal cells, both have a cell membrane surrounding the cytoplasm. Both have a nucleus. Both contain mitochondria. Then the differences between plant cells and animal cells. Animal cells relatively smaller in size. Plant cells relatively larger in size. Animal cells has a round shape. Plant cells have a box-like shape. Animal cells, no cell wall. Plant cells, yes, contain cell wall. Then animal cells, vacuole is small. Then plant cells has large vacuole. We want to continue with the different types of reproduction. And we have asexual reproduction, which is the production of offspring that requires only one parent. All the genetic materials come from the one parent, so offspring are identical. Then we have sexual reproduction, which is the production of offspring that requires one male and one female parent. Then chromosomes come from both parents. We have sexual reproduction, and sexual reproduction involves two parents who have sex organs which produce sex cells. The sex cells in sexual reproduction are called gametes, and you have the male gametes known as sperm, and female gametes are known as eggs. Then we have plant reproduction. Sexual reproduction in plants has the same principles as in animals. The nucleus form a male gametes must join with the nucleus from a female gametes. The new nucleus will now contain a full set of information to create a new plant. Half of the information is from the mother plant and half from the father plant. The new plant will contain features from both. Then we have introduction to reproduction. Reproduction is a process by which animals produce offspring for the purpose of continuing the species. Then we have pollination. Pollination, one part of the flower called the anther makes pollen, and another part of the flower called the pistil leads to the eggs. And to continue the lesson, types of pollination. You have self-pollination, which is the transfer of pollen from the anthers to the stigma of the same flower on the same plant. Then you have cross-pollination, transfer of pollen from the anthers of one plant to the stigmas of another plant, then cross-pollination usually requires an insect or bee to transfer the pollen from one plant to the other, or at times wind will transfer the pollen from one plant to the other. I trust that you have learned from this lesson. Remember, you can subscribe for more and also share with a student that is going to take PSC. Thanks so much for tuning in. More videos coming up soon.